In Devon, Alberta, we got snow in time for Remembrance Day. It's Michael Kendall restomping after last night's snow. Morning CTV, it's Lori Kendall, Discovery Place Hair Salon in Devon, Alberta. And yeah, I made that poppy because it totally sucks for the people who want to celebrate Remembrance Day. We've had so many great vets over the years, and I just want to say a special, this is for Roy Hale, 100 years old, and we just love him to death.
In another small community near this city, another idea to leave a massive poppy in the most Canadian way, imprinted in a fresh snowfall outside a senior center in Devon.
It's hard to see when you take a picture that the darn thing really is 40 feet in diameter.
For 100-year-old Second World War veteran Roy Hale, seeing that poppy in the snow means his efforts and those of others was worth it.
It did quite a lot to see Canada safe.
In the year of COVID, where everyone again must try and remain safe, there will be time to remember together. Devon, CTV News, Edmonton.
Keep smiling every day.
A Remembrance Day message was carved into the snow outside the retirement home of a 100-year-old veteran. A Remembrance Day tribute carved in this field of snow. It resembles a poppy and sits in front of Discovery Place, a retirement home in Devon, southwest of Edmonton. The snow poppy was created by Lori Kendall, a hairdresser who works at the home and a close friend to the home's last veteran, 100-year-old Roy Hale. She says she wanted to put a smile on his face.
Everyone that he's served with is gone, and we have one left here at Discovery Place. It just hurts that they can't celebrate like they imagined that they would, especially for their friends that they lost.
I had old friends I like to be with.
On Remembrance Day, the veteran thinks of his friends and the time spent in the military.
It means togetherness, we all together, and I just keep smiling every day.
The 35-foot wide snow poppy is gaining tons of traction on social media. Kendall even called the Edmonton International Airport to tell them to be on the lookout.
Told him to fly over low and slow so that the passengers can see it. We're right on the flight path.
Kendall says the poppy will continue being fixed as long as the snow keeps falling. From Devon, Bailey Nitty, City News.
And it looks like she owns a salon as well. She stomped out into the field a ginormous poppy and the word remember across it, just for this World War II veteran, which is just unbelievable. We have tweeted out the picture. We'll throw it up on our Facebook page. Lori, you are a community member like no other. Unbelievable. Very, very cool. While you're stuck in traffic, we shouldn't recommend you looking at your phone. But when you get home safe and sound, open up your phone and then check out our Facebook and Twitter page. This is Keith Urban.
7:52 now, time for a good 4. Today is, of course, Remembrance Day, and I saw this on social media and thought, this woman deserves a shout out. Lori Kendall put on her boots and stomped this into the field in Devon. Wow. There's a World War II vet named Roy Hale who lives in an old folks home. This is his view outside of his window.
Look at that.
So she went and did this for him, and I suppose any other vets that may be living in that old folks home. So
That's how long that took.
I know. She went out there and did that on her own, so I love it. Looks beautiful.
Not too far outside of Edmonton, a couple in Devon used a unique canvas to share a message with the residents and veterans of a local seniors residence. Lori Kendall Kendall and her husband created a 40-foot poppy in the snow. She says Discovery Place has always been home to veterans, and right now they have one man, Roy Hale, who lives there. So this is a special image just for him. Kendall says these snow creations take time, but are worth it.
Generally, I write it out and count out the steps on a piece of paper, but I just winged it this time. But it helps to have a string and a helper for measuring. Yeah. But honestly, you can't see what you're doing. So you just have to guess. The first poppy we made looked like it was a little bit run over by a truck. And then we fixed it. So this is probably 40 feet across. The residents at Discovery Place are used to my shenanigans. There's some windows straight up, and as they exercise and go for their walks, I like to give them a little surprise after every fresh snowfall.
Well, I just went out there for 20 minutes with my husband, and we stomped a poppy into the snow. And so, like, I absolutely think I would be such an idiot and stupid to say that it's all about me, because there are soldiers currently serving and have served in the past that have made such big sacrifices. But it does give me an opportunity to thank them.
Okay, so Roy Hale is in extended care in a seniors facility in Devon?
Assisted living. Dude works out. He does crafts for people. He's just doing wonderful. I'm not sure he gets any care at all.
Because he's 100 years old.
Yeah. Hey, you know Marty Stevens, his grandma was there. She was 105 when she lived with us, so she's still doing fine. But, oh yeah, they're not going to take help from people.
There's something in the water there in Devon.
That's right. No, we're very lucky.
So tell me Roy's story.
You know, it was hard to get it out of him because he's so humble. So he was training in Calgary when Pearl Harbor happened. And then he said patrolling the West Coast and up into Indonesia. He eventually got to England. He did say that as the planes flew over, the island he was on vibrated. But that's like the most we've ever got out of him. He just mostly is a happy guy. He tells us to smile every day. He's everybody's boyfriend, and all the staff fight over him. Like, just those manners, man. When you say yes, ma'am, and thank you very much, we just absolutely swoon for him.
So you work at the facility that he's at?
Yeah, I'm the hairdresser there. I've been there for about 18 years.
And how does Roy's hair look? Does he still have hair?
Something in the back, but you know. No, he's got a full head of hair. Yeah, he's cute. He still gets carded when he buys beer. The dude looks young.
You went outside with your husband. You made this giant poppy. You posted the picture on the internet. It's gone viral. What kind of response are you and Roy getting?
I haven't even told him everything that's happened yet. He's overwhelmed just by all the TV interviews. I haven't seen so many media in one place since Spider Mabel had her big day. And so, like, he doesn't even know, but the other residents, they opened up their laptops, and there's this picture with their relatives from BC and Europe and USA going, is that your Devon, Alberta? So, like, all of our residents feel so special.
God bless you for doing that and putting a smile not only on Roy's face and bringing back a whole bunch of memories and reconnecting him with other soldiers and other people around Canada. But yeah, you're just an angel, Lori.
Oh, thank you. But just making his kids feel so proud has been just the icing on the cake, too. And Discovery Place, we're doing great, and everyone's healthy, but we've been isolating. The staff and the residents, we're just bonded so close now, and we need each other so bad, and they all felt like celebrities for that one day. Pretty magical.
I can't wait to see what you do for Christmas for him.
Oh, no! More responsibility! Yeah, there's something up my sleeve.
Hi, Stel, it's Everett. How are you?
I'm good.
Roy used to live next door to me in Edmonton.
No way.
Yes, he was there from the mid-40s right up to like 3 years ago he moved to Devon.
And what kind of neighbor was he?
Oh, very beautiful, very kind. He walked around the block every day. Right up to like 4 years ago, he cleaned his own driveway.
You're kidding me. Because he's 100, he celebrated his 100th birthday earlier this year.
I know, it's in March.
That is amazing. What a small world.
Yes, it is, very much so. Yeah, he was a beautiful neighbor.
A small seniors residence in Devon is getting a lot of attention after a Calgary actor posted a photo of a giant poppy stomped into the snow. The post has been shared more than 20,000 times and has more than 3,000 likes. Lori Kendall is the woman who put on her boots and created the poppy for World War II vet Roy Hale, who lives in the seniors' home. Hello, Lori.
Hello there. Thanks for having me.
Now, first of all, what do you think of the reaction that your snow poppy is getting?
Everyone wants to know if the seniors and the residents are reacting, but they're so used to my shenanigans that they're not overreacting to this at all. But they are getting calls and they're getting contacted from people all over the world. People are phoning Discovery Place and asking if there's anything Roy needs and thanking him for his service. And they're just, they're so proud. They're just so proud of our Roy.
Tell me how this all came to be. First of all, how do you know Roy?
I'm a hairdresser at Discovery Place, and Roy is my customer. He's 100, and it is really hard to get him to talk about the war, and so I found a lot more out in the past 24 hours than he's ever told. He's just a very pleasant, sweet man, and he works out every day and does crafts, and he doesn't really talk about the war at all.
Okay, so then, why do this?
I moved into Discovery Place 18 years ago with a plethora of war brides and heroes and pilots and people who delivered the mail in the war. And we would dress them all up, like 20 of them, to go to Remembrance Day. And I just feel like, I burst into tears too many times. I feel like Roy was ripped off. His 100th birthday was during the lockdown, and he can't even celebrate Remembrance Day. It's too dangerous. So I want to do something just to show him love, right?
Tell me about creating the poppy. Like, how did you decide how big it was going to be, where exactly it is? So is it so Roy can see it, like, out his window?
Yes, from the third and fourth windows, if you look, you'll see that going for walks and they're exercising. At the end of the hallway, there's a window, and it looks over the community garden. So it's pretty barren in the winter, and it's a lot of flat space. And after every fresh snowfall, I can change the design. So it's about 40 feet across, and it's a giant poppy, and I like to tease them that the airplanes can see it because we're on the landing pattern for the EIA, and I like to tease them that the planes are going to land really low and slow and look at our design.
When did you actually stomp it into the snow?
I think that was Monday, but that feels like 3 weeks ago.
Certainly. And have you heard from Roy about it?
Oh, he has been a media sweetheart, and I think they're wearing him out. And I have to sit him down, and I have to tell him all these messages, especially from the active servicemen sending their respect. And I have to tell him things like swear words, and people saying awesome sauce. Like, how do I say to somebody who's 100, oh, you got a compliment, awesome sauce?
What are some of the messages that have maybe really touched you?
I guess it means Neato burrito.
I think they're from all over the world. So I love hearing like what country people were from, and I loved how many Indigenous people that this really struck a nerve, and that they are paying respects to him. They probably had a lot of people serving in their own families, right? And just him being the last. I think the American soldiers having the white snow poppy, and yeah, when you Google snow poppy, you get our picture. It is just the purity of it. Like they said that in where they are, maybe corporations have taken over the poppy effort, and people think they're giving to the vets, and the charity money isn't going to where it's supposed to. So it touched a nerve with them because it just was it cost nothing to stomp it into the snow, just a message of love.
Yeah. What did you know about Roy and what happened to him in the war? And what do you know now that he's become a media sweetheart?
Well, after, 6 haircuts, I can get a sentence at a time. So I know that he was training in Calgary when Pearl Harbor happened. And then he patrolled the West Coast, went to Indonesia. And what I learned just yesterday was when he was in England, it was West Indies, I'm sorry, yeah. When he was in England, he said the planes by the hundreds were going over him, and the ground vibrated. Like, can you imagine? And he actually talked about friendly fire. That's such a forbidden topic. And then what I've been pondering on is what he meant by Remembrance Day has to be celebrated with togetherness. You know, like, I said, why would you say that? It's a pandemic. We can't be together. And then I had to, like, think about it, chew on it a little bit. We're only going to get through this together.
That's so true. What is the state of the poppy today? Have you looked at it?
Oh, well, no, I almost had to feel like we had to walk in it all night. It snowed heavy. So it's been redone twice since. And then people came and just, like, there was no pictures. It was just a quiet little gathering at 11 o'clock for 2 minutes, just of silence. Like, we were so scared too many people would come and we, had the RCMP break us up. But we're just quiet. And so, no, it looks pretty great. And the snow is sparkling. And, hey, I don't want it to melt, but minus 21, come on. I know he's in charge of the weather.
Are you going to keep it up for a while, or you're going to let it fade away from now?
Oh, that's a great question. I have no plans yet, but of course I have to work on a Christmas one next. So maybe 2 weeks.
And how does it make you feel to know that you're, even if it's a small difference, you're making a difference in Roy's life and the lives of the residents at the seniors' home?
Well, how it makes me feel is my son is studying marketing and business, and he'd come home from school and we talk for an hour and a half. But this thing is like a tornado that makes its own weather, you can't sit in an office and plan something like this. It just did its own thing and took off on its own. The international airport, Dean Murdoch and Kim Simon, a local singer here, retweeted it, and then it just expanded. I ran into work at 7 in the morning going, put on your fancy clothes. I think the TV cameras are coming. Because I had 100 likes in 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it just exploded.
Well, Lori, it's a beautiful gesture. And thank you so much for talking to us today.
Okay, thank you. And just God bless our soldiers, right? Like,
absolutely.
I recently heard this little quote, and I don't know where it came from, but everyone's talking about it, so maybe you've heard it. That the soldier fights so his son can be in agriculture, and then his kids can be musicians and artists. Oh, my goodness, hey?
That's powerful.
Yeah, well, think of the work you do, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're just here to bring the stories to light, and thank you for telling us all about Roy.
Thanks for having me.
Lori Kendall stomped a 40-foot poppy in the snow as a tribute to veterans living in a seniors' residence and Roy Hale in Devon. Well, restaurants are having